And to help us sort through all of these developments, we spoke to Afshin Molavi. He's a senior fellow at the Johns Hopkins SAIS Foreign Policy Institute. He's also a co-director of the Emerge85 Lab, which explores non-Western global economic influences. He said President Trump should be prepared for some tense discussions at the G7 summit.
It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be very uncomfortable. I mean, this is not just the steel and aluminum tariffs. I mean, let's not forget, President Trump pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord. The other G7 members did not want that. He pulled the Iran deal. The other G7 members did not want that. He pulled out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The other G7. So, he's coming in, and the steel and aluminum tariffs seem to be, almost the last straw. So it's going to be a very uncomfortable meeting. He may look forward to going to Singapore to meet with Kim Jong-un.
He's complaining about having to go to Canada. He says it's a distraction from his upcoming Singapore summit. I don't suppose the allies feel good about what's going on, and now I'd rather be hanging out with Kim Jong-un than you as well. That's probably not going to go over well either.
No, that's not going to go over well either. And I think the allies are also going to want to understand where President Donald Trump is going with the negotiations in Singapore. There have been some concerns in some of the statements that he said about, I don't need to really know all the details about my attitude, and there is some concern that he is giving the weight of the office of the presidency too lightly in a meeting like this. At the end of the day, what we've tried in the past hasn't worked, so it's worth putting the weight of the presidency of the United States forward on this issue. But the key is going to be, of course, two issues. Can he get the transparency on where the nuclear sites are, and can he get the verification that he wants? That's what all the experts are talking about, and that's where he's going to go to Singapore, asking for those two things.
Shinzo Abe came and really made his case during this news conference. There are prisoners in the DPRK. You almost get the sense that he's afraid some deal could be cut and Japan could end up on the outside. Give me your sense on how passionate he was today.
Yeah, I think he really was. I mean, look, Japan lives in the shadow of the North Korea's nuclear program. Japan also lives in the shadow of North Korean threats, Japanese prisoners. If you were to talk about existential security threats in Northeast Asia for Japan, North Korea is at the very top of that list. So he does not want the American president, long-standing ally, to go in there and do a deal that would undermine their interests. Now, Shinzo Abe was also putting on a brave face, as you saw, saying that we're in lockstep with the Americans. We are totally aligned with President Trump's vision, but they're not quite totally aligned. But I think he's saying that for public consumption because he doesn't want to get on President Trump's bad side.